people, welcome to my first trip at Abbey Lakes in France. My first trip abroad, fishing for a week out here with my boy Connor. I'm absolutely buzzing. Now, I've got to be honest with you, yesterday was an absolute write-off. We actually got to the lake yesterday, but we was so tired yesterday. We managed to get about 2 hours sleep when we arrived here early in the morning, and it was just a pain in the arse really. Our bed chairs were stuck right at the back of the van, so we couldn't even get them out and stick them on the bivvy area that this lake provides for you if you get here late at night.
I know.
Yeah.
You stuck it on me, I'm bare tired and that. I ain't got a clue what to say.
We just drove 2 hours.
2 hours, man.
Right, well, he don't want to talk, but as you all know, I like talking. Let's see if we can get this in focus, hold on. Right, so we just arrived at the Abbey Lakes complex. It's about 2 hours from Calais. Quite an easy drive, to be fair, like one motorway. We took the A26 pretty much all the way here. Con's a bit tired because he was the one that was in the driver's seat, weren't you, mate?
Yeah, man.
But
still buzzing though.
Yeah, still buzzing. We've got probably about 3 hours, I reckon. We might get our heads down for a few hours just to have a bit of sleep in the van. We've pulled up into the complex and we're just sitting in the car park at the minute, but there's no entrance to the gate. Proper buzzing for the next week. Hopefully we have some mega fish between the two of us. I'm going to document pretty much everything, and like I said, Con's virginity is going to be messed up after this trip. He's going to be a pro talking to the camera after this trip, ain't that right, Con?
Yeah, we'll see.
Right, we'll see you in a bit. So, we did screw up there, but anyway, we took yesterday as a bit of time to just chill out, get to know the lake a little bit, have a chat with a few people that have fished here, and yeah, just got a little bit of knowledge really. I myself positioned myself in a swim down the other end of the lake yesterday, swim 18. This swim, swim 11, which is up the other end of the lake, was actually taken. But me and Connor had a chat with the boys that were in here and 2 swims down, and they told us that they was leaving this morning. So we thought it was a good opportunity to just write off yesterday, jump in a swim down that end, and bucket these swims ready for this morning. Now, a couple of fish have come out this end over the last week or so, so we really wanted to be up this way really. Seen quite a few fish show as well, so I feel mega confident. I got round here a couple of hours ago, and the bailiff, one of the bailiffs, Jack, was very helpful. He come round here and showed me a couple of spots. One is opposite me, right on the other side of the bank, and I'm really pleased about that one. And then there's another one there that has like a viewing platform that you can walk out to and actually see it, and it just drops straight down to about 12 foot and is super clear, probably a couple of rod lengths wide and long, so really nice spot to get a bait on as well. And apparently in this warmer months the fish are seen there a lot of the time, so fingers crossed they get in there whilst I'm in here. I'm planning to do 2 or 3 nights over here and see what happens. If it is very quiet, then I may consider another move, but yeah, really buzzing that I managed to finally seal a swim that's been quite productive over the last week or so. Connor's just down in his swim sorting his gear out, so I'm going to go down there and have a chat with him.
Right, so you're here with me now in swim 13 on the Fox Lake. Done one night yesterday in swim 16 down the other end of the lake. Wasn't really too confident in that swim, to be honest. There wasn't really much to go on. I don't know, about 17 wraps out, just a big clear spot. That's all I really had to fish. So I crumbed and chopped up some boilies, put out about 10 spoms over the 3 rods. Something I wouldn't really normally do. I normally put a little bit of bait on each spot and just fish like that. Introduce a bit of bait as I get bites. But I wasn't really confident, so I've had a look around the lake. Was seeing some fish down in swim 13 down the other end of the lake. We spoke to some boys that were fishing here previously, and they've had a few nice fish out of this swim. So from hearing that, I thought it would be a good idea to bucket the swim, give me an option for the next day. So I sat out in swim 16 for the night. Luckily I nicked one in the morning, which was this morning. It was a 24-pound common. Had a tent straight after that as well. So it was a hard decision really to make, to able to come down here or just sit out another night on that swim. But as I said, the other boys, they've been doing quite a lot of fish down this end, so we wanted to get down here naturally.
See if he plays ball.
It's in a bit of a predicament right now. One of the prime swims up the other end of the lake coming available. The weather's looking bang on for it down there, so I don't know. I've had one little, I don't know, 20-pounder. I've had a tench as well. I'm just worried that they're going to start coming up this end as I move down there, so I'm not really sure. It's an hard one. I think I'm going to play it out another, I don't know, another hour or two. See if I can make my mind up. Yeah, so I've just set my rods up. As the lake is about 22 acres, I've decided to put the drone up in the air, find some spots. Yeah, we found some lovely spots along the margins. They're about 30 wraps out, so I've used a bait boat to keep it nice and stealth. Back home I wouldn't really use a bait boat, but the bailiffs just told us there's a bit of an edge over here, so I've given the bait boat a go. Had some getting used to, but yeah, put some rigs out on the spot. Yeah, I'm feeling quite confident now, to be honest. Yeah, the sun's up, so I'm just hoping that the fish stay down here really, like they have been throughout the last couple of days. Yeah, let's just see what the session brings.
Right, so like I said earlier on, I come around this side of the lake, which is opposite swim 11, to find a few spots with a bailiff. This one in particular is mega. It's about 2.5 rod lengths off of the bank out that way, and it basically slopes down to a nice clear glowy spot that I'd say is probably about a rod length long and probably about half a rod length wide. With spots like this, I really want to keep disturbance to a minimum, so it's all about stealth mode. I'm going to drop my rig inside the bait boat, drive the bait boat about 2.5 rod lengths shy of this part of the bank, and then obviously deploy the rig and a small amount of hemp and corn over the spot. Hopefully it pays dividends. So yeah, I'm going to get back round to my rods, sort them out, get the boat out and deploy the rig nice and effectively. So after doing some homework on the 3 spots I was going to fish, certainly put me in a good mindset for the nights ahead. Handfuls of hemp and maize were trickled into the boat and rigs deployed accurately over spots 1 and 2 that I'd found on the far margin. As for the platform spot, this was simply a lot easier to bait by hand, and so nice and discreetly I crept round there with a bucket and applied a couple of handfuls of bait with precision. I was certain at least one of these 3 spots were going to produce a bite for me, and so returned to my swim with mega confidence. Connor, on the other hand, now set up down in peg 13, was also on the money, rods out and eyes peeled for any sudden action that unfolded. Night 2 on the complex, both of us fueled with fire and hopeful that something was going to flourish. Would we be awoken to that ever-craving sound of bite indication? Well, what a morning. You join me on my first morning in the new swim, number 11, on the Fox Lake at Abbey complex. It's just gone past 7 o'clock. Yesterday, we had a cracking sunrise, but today it is mega foggy. And I've just seen a fish. Wow. I've literally just seen a fish just roll on the surface about 2 rod lengths out. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to keep my noise down now, but that was a very unexpected surprise to see that so close in at this time. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, So the weather, it's a bit cloudy this morning. I think the sun's going to come out and break through those clouds in the next hour or two. But right now we've got a wicked bit of mist sort of coming across the surface of the water. Yeah, it just feels proper magical at the moment. So after the quick update yesterday in this swim, when I initially got in here, I took another walk around the other side of the bank to check on those spots. Now about 2 hours before I'd done the update, I sprinkled in a bit of hemp and maize on one of the spots just in the corner of this bay. And as I walked round there a couple of hours later, I actually spooked a carp that was on the spot feeding. I didn't realise it was in there. The problem is the platform's quite high away from the water, so as I've walked up to the edge of the platform, there's a carp literally up against the wall. So you can imagine I'm standing here and he's here and he's feeding on a little spot that I've put some bait down on. I could not believe it. As I've walked to the edge, he's obviously heard my footsteps and spooked and swum out. But to have that happen so early on, after putting a bit of bait in for a few hours, was mega confidence booster. I've got to admit, I was mega buzzing to see that. Hopefully the fish get back in there today when the sun comes through again, but no action as of last night. I've got all 3 rods bang on the spots that I wanted to fish. I've got one in that corner bay, I've got one just to the left of a tree on the other side of the bank, and I've got one out in open water towards the pylons, which is out that way. That spot is relatively clean. I sent the deeper out on the boat and had a little look, and it is about 4 metres in depth and nice and flat, and there is a small amount of onion weed, I'd say, or low-lying weed that I'm fishing over the top of. So yeah, I'm really confident on that one. But yeah, the spot down in this bay is probably my favourite spot of the 3. When I dropped the rig last night from the boat, I went round there, obviously stayed back, but I could see my rig on the bottom, and we're fishing in about 10 foot of water as well, so it is proper deep, and it's like just a cracking spot to be on. So fingers crossed something comes from that rod. But yeah, I'm mega buzzing. We've got about an hour or so until we have to go and pick up some breakfast, but the plan today is to eat it on the bank. Abbey do provide food, both breakfast and dinner, at their lodge up on the main bit of the complex. So yeah, myself or Connor are going to go and pick up the food this morning, and we're going to enjoy a bit of breakfast in our swims, and hopefully something happens. I'll keep you guys updated as we get on with this trip. Hi Dave, tell me about the history of the Abbey Lakes complex, and how did the opportunity to bailiff such a place come about?
History-wise, been around, well, over 20 years now. It's family owned. The complex has got bigger over the years. With Fox and Heron are the main lakes now, but Frog, the little lake, was the original lake here. I've been out here 15 years now, but I was at Dream Lakes and I fancied somewhere different. I fancied somewhere where I could live out here permanently. When we was at Dream Lakes, it was 2 on 2 off, and I was doing a lot of travelling. Put the word out, and someone told me this job was going, so I sort of spoke to the guy that owns it, and yeah, before I knew it, I was here, and yeah, we live here full time now. So yeah, nice. It's all good.
How do you approach managing a complex of this size then?
With difficulty. No, it kind of runs itself. I mean, I've got a good team. Got Nat, my partner, she does all the food. I've got a very energetic new young bailiff, Jack, who's been brilliant. But it's a drive and survive complex anyway, so most of the anglers pretty much look after themselves. You just have to kind of just keep an eye on what's going on, take the photos of the big fish and stuff like that. But yeah, it kind of runs itself, you know. But the main hub is up here in the lodge where we do the food, and everything's run behind the desk. And yeah, that's about it really.
The facilities here are spot on from what I can see. Good food, a clean environment, charge and hire facilities, and excellent customer service. What would you say makes the Abbey Lakes complex stand out from the rest?
I think you tend to find the complex is always good at one thing, maybe not so good at the others, but I find here the lodge is second to none. We've got a massively stocked tackle shop now with bait and that. Brand new toilets, showers, probably the best facilities out there. And we haven't got the biggest fish in France, but we've definitely got the best looking head of fish in France. That goes without saying. Nice scaly ones. A lot of our fish almost look English. So based on all of that, if you fancy a trip at Abbey, just drop us an email, info@abbeylake.com, through to Evelyn, and she'll look after you. Or keep a lookout on our Facebook page. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll have our new website going live, and you'll be able to book your holiday on there, and you'll be able to open an account with us where you can book all your bait, your food, and you can tailor your holiday as well, which is a first as well. Thanks very much.
What's happening, people? Second night in Swim 11, and to be fair, today has been mega quiet. After seeing a few fish on the spots that I'm fishing yesterday, I went into the night with really high hopes, but woke up this morning and yeah, just nothing to sort of show for my efforts. The weather did change though early this morning. I thought it was going to be a proper warm morning, but it was really misty. This bay that I'm fishing in at the moment gets a certain amount of sun each day, and when the sun's beating down on the water, they tend to get in here. What I've done though is I've been a little bit stealthy in my approach. So I was initially fishing 3 rods from the actual swim, but what I've done is I've taken one of them rods out of there, and just behind me I've stuck one in the margin. Now when I say in the margin, I mean pretty much washing line style of fishing. What I've done is I waded out about 1 metre or so, and I've just dropped the rig about a rod length off the bank into a proper nice little clear spot amongst some weed. Now I think it's about 5 foot there, so it's not mega deep, but I've kept it really stealthy, just fishing 2 pieces of pop-up corn, and I literally broke away the hemp from my hemp and maize bucket. I've just scattered a couple of spoonfuls of hemp over the top of the spot. I don't really want too much visual going on there because there's a lot of ducks that have given me problems today. So yeah, I kept it just hemp, and hopefully that'll entice a little bite. I know that the margins have been doing quite a few fish as well over the last few days. One fella actually picked up a 55-pound mirror, which was a mega fish, I can't lie. But yeah, back to what I was saying. So the rod behind me in the margin here is literally discreet as you can be. I've basically pinned the line down with a bit of putty so that it's literally all laying flat on the bottom, and I'd say there's probably only about 2 metres of line in the water. But other than that, yeah, it's been relatively quiet today. I'm hoping with this low pressure that's coming in over the next couple of days, the fish will get their heads down. But until then, I'm going to go and grab some barbecue food because Connor's stuck the barbecue on. If anything comes during the night, then obviously I'm going to update you guys, but if not, I'll see you in the morning. Sweet.
Run you through my bait that I've been using over the last couple of years. Obviously you can see it's mainline cell, central cell, some 10 millers, 80 millers, and I've also got the 80 millers cell as well. But yeah, I've had quite a lot of success on it, to be fair. I've got a lot of faith in the bait. Yeah, it's been doing me well in England, so it's only right I bring it out to France. I'll normally use the chopper, the crusher and the grinder. Yeah, that'll be just obviously so I'll get all different variety of sizes. I like using a crusher because it breaks down the bait quickly and efficiently. Yeah, here at Abbey Lakes I think the crusher will work perfectly. It's quite weedy out there, so all them little bits of bait, all them little bits of boilie, they'll get caught up in the weed. But whole boilies will tend to obviously drop to the lake bed, and I don't really want that. I want the traction all up and down the water column. The chops, I think that's a great idea as well, because the whole boilies at this time of year, you don't want to fill them up too quickly. In the summer months maybe I'll tend to use a bit more whole boilies, not a lot, but I'll probably put out a few more than what I normally would in the winter. Hook bait wise, I tend to match the hatch, 15mm cell pop-ups on a Ronnie rig. I'll show you how I make them later. But for now I've got to redo my rods. They've been out there for about 2 days. Yeah, I've just left them on a spot I was confident in, so I knew they was presented. But yeah, let's reel them in and freshen up the hook baits. Hopefully I'll catch a fish.
So I joined the Blake's Baits Carp team back in October of 2021. During my time at Ridge Monkey, I was filming with someone that put me in touch with him, which was really cool of him. After checking out my Instagram profile and looking at a couple of the fish that I'd caught, they decided to get in touch and told me that I'd be a good fit for the team. As I joined the team during the colder months, I decided to go with their Milky Nut Pro bait. Obviously, during the winter time, you want to try and avoid using high fish meal based baits, so I thought it was a smart move to go for a sweet and nutty based bait instead. I initially went for 20mm boilies, and the reason for that is so that I can put them in the Ridge Monkey crusher if need be and cut them up into smaller size baits as and when I need to. I also got in touch with a company called Carp Particles UK, and they sent me some hemp and maize to use for this trip. I have to admit, I'm really impressed with the hemp and maize that they sent across to me. It's mega salty, but not only that, the hemp seed has split properly. I've seen particles in the past, particularly hemp, that has been undercooked and it just isn't right. Hook bait wise, I've kept it really simple. On my first rod, I'm fishing a PVA bag with micro pellets and a small little rig with 2 pieces of pop-up corn on it. The second rod, I have ultimate confidence in. There's a couple of clear areas where the fish had been previously feeding, in and amongst some weed, and I can actually see my 2 pieces of pop-up corn on that particular spot, so that's filled me with confidence. The last rod is probably the stealthiest rod of all 3. I've actually stuck that one just behind me down in a margin, and I'm literally laying my line, slack as you like, along the top of some surface weed, and then it drops down onto a clear spot, probably about 10 foot deep, and that's a multi-rig being fished on a snowman presentation. 20mm hardened hook bait topped with a small 12mm aniseed pop-up. And lastly, the liquids. These for me are key, especially when it's colder. Milky Nut Pro Glug, which is a proper sweet based glug, and on top of that I'm using the hydro corn and hydro wheat from Carp Particles UK, which are basically liquidized versions of sweet corn and wheat. So that's the bait that I'm using on this session. Hopefully it triggers a bite or 2. I've kept it light and minimal so that if I do need to move, I still have bait to apply on different areas of the lake.
Yeah, I'm packed up. I'm gonna move swims again, back to the original peg that I was in, peg 16. Yeah, I might have made a schoolboy error there, where I've had fish, obviously I moved to another swim. But yeah, obviously down this end where I am right now, there's a lot of fish coming out, and big fish as well. I don't know, it's the gamble you take, isn't it, sometimes. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back in 16, give it another crack. Got another 3 nights, so got to stay positive. Hopefully I'll grab one. Fingers crossed. Right, so I'm here. Arrived in peg 16. Yeah, obviously this peg I'm more out in open water in the middle of the lake. Yeah, the last fish I had on here was that obviously common, I said before, 17 wraps out, 3 on a spot. I spotted out that time. Now I've got used to the boat, I might end up just boating it out now, to keep the disturbance to a minimal. See how that works out for me. Yeah, let's go.
Well, to tell you the truth, it has been probably the biggest test that I've ever faced fishing wise. Struggling is an understatement. Started the session up that end of the lake, as I said, moved down this end based on the fact that there had been multiple fish that had come out in this swim and 2 swims down, which Connor was in up until this morning. Connor decided to go back into where he had a common earlier on in the session, so fair play to him. He's got a nice spot out at roughly 18 wraps that he can spread 3 rods across, and I think he's going to do exactly the same thing as he did before. I've sat here this afternoon and kept my eyes on the water. They were in here when I first got in here, but it just seems like they've moved out and they haven't come back just yet. It's mega frustrating. It's not cold at all, like I'm sitting here in a hoodie and shorts, so it's really not that cold. And like I say, the pressure is bang on for them to sort of get down and feed, but you know what carp fishing's like, it don't always play to the rules, so we just have to wait it out and see what happens. I think I'm going to give it one more night in here, and if I don't have anything by tomorrow morning, I might consider another move back up to swim 18 where I initially started the trip, or maybe jump into 14, which sits central of the lake, but we'll decide tomorrow. What a complex though, it's unbelievable. I've got the drone up and got some wicked footage of this place. It is unreal here. Lakes hold a good few hundred carp, so you've got loads to fish for, and Dave, the bailiff, actually showed me some of the carp on his computer yesterday evening when I popped by the lodge, and some of them are just insane. So yeah, I'll definitely be coming back, that's for sure. Anyway, that update's done, so I'll tune in with you a bit later on this evening maybe. Yeah, anything happens, I will obviously update you guys. Speak soon.
colours on this mirror. I think it's about £20. It's one of 2 fish that I had this morning. Fucking well chuffed with it though. Yeah, I won't keep her out too long, I'll get her back. Got a nice comment to show you. It's a bit bigger as well. Yeah, just literally taking the pictures with this, with that mirror. Got one in the sling, and the rod's just rattled off. Have to get in, I think. And I'm glad I come back into this swim. Just kicking myself really that I should have I shouldn't have moved in the first place now. Yeah, we've still got 2 more nights, so hopefully we can get on a few. Hopefully Rick has one as well. It's a decent little mirror. Fucking hell, bro. I don't know what that's going. Oh my God. Slap on the chops. Come on. That's it. Yeah, £33. Nice dark one. Some lovely colours. Not long after this one rattled off. Another lumpy mirror. Yeah, well chuffed with that one as well. So hopefully they stay down this end. Yeah. Another lovely dark mirror, 32.6. They've got some bangers in this lake. Oh, this is one of them. Steep belly on it. Yeah. It's the last of the flurry of bites I had this morning. Yeah. Over the moon. Just get a couple of stills and then slip her back. Let's just set her free. Hopefully go get a big brother or something. What a lovely fish, man. This one's just chilling as well. Yes, man. Well, Abbey. Get in there.
So, as you can see, I've changed swims yet again. Third move of the session. It's been very, very difficult for me this week. Woke up about 4 o'clock this morning, got my bits together. Just weren't feeling it down in Peg 11 anymore. I spent 4 nights of this trip in there. I was really, really confident when I initially got in there. Having seen a few fish in there, obviously, and also being told that there'd been a few that had come out. It was natural for me to want to go and fish in there. The weather was nice and bright as well for the first day or so, so the fish were obviously holding up still there, but that quickly changed and the fish followed suit. They moved out of there very fast. I thought I'd leave it a few days. I was fishing really effectively and I was also on some cracking spots, but unfortunately it didn't happen. So I was up nice and early and I had a massive surprise waiting for me. Connor not only had 2 but 3 carp this morning. Which were really, really nice fish, I've got to admit. I was buzzing for him. He had 2 mirrors and a common. So yeah, 3 takes for him, which puts him on 4 fish for the session, which I'm really, really pleased about. I'd like to get in on the action, but there's still 2 nights left. I thought I'd move with 48 hours remaining and see if I could nick some. The fish have been holding up down here. It's been evident since I've been in here for the last few hours. I've got my head down. I was absolutely knackered about 2 o'clock. And yeah, it's just got to 4 o'clock now. So Connor's popped back to the lodge to grab some batteries and stuff that we've been charging. For now though, I'm gonna kick back, enjoy this nice little bit of sunshine that's just come through. We may be due some snow tomorrow, I know. Just approaching April and we've got snow, absolutely mental. But yeah, I'm gonna sit back, enjoy this last few hours of today, roll into this evening, and yeah, hopefully something comes my way. Well, the short spell of sunshine didn't last long, and as I set my traps in the wet and rainy weather, I couldn't help but feel the pressure was mounting. It's funny how carp fishing goes sometimes. It really does test you mentally, but you just have to keep plugging away at it. I felt rather disappointed, but not through lack of effort, and went into the evening praying that the carp gods would shine down on me just once. Surely all my hard work would be rewarded at some point. So, I'm hoping the audio is working. Basically, I got told early this morning that there are serious amount of carp down in peg number 18, which was the initial swim that I was in at the beginning of the session. Already said I felt like I didn't spend enough time in there. I think I'd done about 12 hours in there and then moved up the other end of the lake just because we got told about the fish up there. But I have literally been chasing monsters the whole trip. It's the last day, I've got 24 hours to go. And yeah, as you can see, I'm just transporting the bivvy down to number 18 because it's snowing. 1st of April, bloody snow. God, I'm knackered. But yeah, come on man, last 24 hours. Hopefully I can nick one. Oh, please, just please give me some reward, please. Anyway, I'll catch up with you in a bit. Go on, mate, I need to get back in the gym. Well, we've actually come to the end of our first trip to France on the Abbey Lakes complex. Unfortunately for me, it was a massive blank. Now, there's two ways you can take that. You could go home mega disheartened, or you can go home with your chin up, held high, knowing that you put a lot of effort in. And to be fair, it's definitely the latter for me. I feel like I chased a fish all week, but I just couldn't get onto them. As for Connor though, I'm glad he managed 4 fish on this session. Absolutely smashed it. I'm buzzing for him. Fish to £33. Obviously the carp in here do go to £70 as far as I've been told, but we're here early on in the year. It hasn't mega switched on just yet. A couple of other lakes on the complex have done that over the last few days apparently, but Fox unfortunately isn't quite at that mode yet. Con, how'd you enjoy the trip?
Yeah, it was a great trip, mate. Yeah, enjoyed it. Didn't actually get no lumps, but when they look like that, can't really complain really. I'm proper happy with them. Yeah, we learned a lot about the lake, that's the main thing. Yeah, we both put a lot of effort in. It's just how the cookie crumbled, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree, mate. No, I'm really pleased for you, bro, honestly. Like I say, 4 carp to £33, and those carp you had were stunning fish, weren't they?
Yeah.
But we hope you enjoyed this video anyway. Please make sure you smash the like, share and subscribe button if you haven't already. Our first trip to France. I'm sure there'll be many more coming in the future. We've already discussed a potential trip in July this year, so fingers crossed we can manage that. But until next time, enjoy your fishing, make sure you catch some bangers, and take care.
I like using the crusher. Oh, for f***'s sake, bro. This shit's f***ing me off, man. Allow it, bro. It's so simple as well, man.
I haven't actually got the main. There's some ducks going right into my bivvy.
You recording or you Are you recording or you photo?
Hook bait wise, I've kept it very simple. On my first
Scared, cunt. Yo, 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 yo! Yo, 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 yo!
Jesus. Well, I don't know if you see that, but I just dropped my Ray-Bans in the lake, and luckily it's nice and shallow here, so they didn't go to the bottom. Wow. So I joined the Blake's Baits carp team back in October of 21. Oh, f***.